Hello, my fishy friends. Welcome back to Ready, Set, Go Fish. Today I got kind of curious about learning more about some of these amazing species that are here, and in particular, I wanted to focus in on the Phenochilus genus. So, a little disclaimer, I am not a biologist, and I am not formally trained, but I am a guy with the internet, and I'm also a guy with a bunch of really awesome fish here that I'm curious about. So I wanted to show you guys the Phenochilus that I have. So this guy in the back here, this one's commonly known as a VC10. He is part of the Phenochilus species, or Phenochilus genus. The Phenochilus they're all cichlids. They're all from Lake Malawi. They're all haplochromine, and there's looks like a few dozen different kinds of named Phenochilus, including this one. This is the Phenochilus Milomo, commonly known as the VC-10. He's named after the VC-10 Vickers aircraft that used to fly between Malawi and Britain, typically. He's got these really nice vertical bars that you see on some of the other Phenochilus also. This one's got like some nice fat lips. He's an omnivore. Those lips are for ripping algae off of rocks. And he lives in deep rocky areas. And this is a male. You can see he's got some color. This one's probably 6-7 inches. And I'm thinking he's gonna get a little bit larger, but he's getting close to peaking out. Honestly, in my perspective, he's a super cool fish. Not necessarily like a centerpiece, but he's got a really unique look and markings. He's not the star of the show, but he's a pretty good backup singer. Next, I'm in here. This is my smallest tank. These are just juveniles, but I have a couple of Phenochilus Johstonis here, and I'm pretty sure this one's a male. You can definitely see some color, like coming in nicely on the dorsal, on the anal fin. They also have these really attractive vertical stripes, and that's true of both the males, the females, and juveniles. So if you're unsure about sexing, it's pretty nice to have an attractive juvenile. Not a Phenochilus, it's a Nimbochromis linne. Their diet includes vertebrae. I guess they flush vertebrae out of the sand and snatch them up. In my perspective, they have a really cool, distinctive look. It's also not like a centerpiece fish, but the males color up nicely. And I've seen in groups they can do really well. If you can get like, maybe 10, you'll have like one stunning male who really looks great. I'm really hoping that these guys over time will take on a lot more color and really thrive in the community tank too. So stay tuned, I'll let you know. Next, we have the deepwater hap. This is the Phenochilus Electra. I guess it was named the deepwater hap because they mistakenly believed it lived in only deep water. But really, this fish lives at different depths, primarily in sandy areas. It doesn't so much agitate the sand as it takes advantage of other fish that are agitating the sand and like scaring out crustaceans or invertebrates, whatever they can find. He's quite peaceful. In particular, the Phenochilus Electra deepwater hap has a reputation for being peaceful, so they should definitely not be kept with like Mbuna or highly aggressive predator haps. In fact, of the Phenochilus that I'll show you today, this one seems to stay the smallest, around 6 or 7 inches, so this is a really good fit with like peaceful peacocks. All in all, I think they're a cool fish. They've got some really like beautiful blue iridescence to them, and they have this really typical vertical black bar just behind the gill plate, and some of them, including mine, have a really nice like black bar coming just below the eye. I think it's a really distinctive, interesting look. So it's one of my favorites too. Okay, now we're on to the big boys. This is the Phenochilus Mdoka. As you can see, he's just a stunning specimen. This one's just over 6 inches probably. He's like a nice deep color of blue. He's a little faded out at the moment, but he's often like a very rich, dark blue. He's kind of got the standard body shape, like round, high fish that you'd imagine from like a Disney cartoon or something. He's like a cartoon fish. And then he's got these hilarious white lips that are just very unique in the Malawi cichlid world. So he is absolutely one of my favorites. He doesn't seem to cause any trouble in this tank, although they have a reputation that they can be aggressive. They're also pretty cool that the males and females are both quite attractive. They look very similar. They can do very well as a big colony. So if you'd like to keep one species and maybe breed, you want to do one large tank, this one is definitely one to consider. I'd personally consider it a must-have fish, just because of how distinctive it is. It'll do great with other big haps. Maybe not as well in like a peacock tank, because they do get quite large, 8 or 9 inches, and have a reputation for being a bit aggressive, although this one is certainly not causing any trouble in this tank. And lastly, we'll shift our focus. This one is also, he's in the back here. There he is. This one is also called Phenochilus Phenochilus, but it's not, unlike the Mdoka, it's Phenochilus Phenochilus Tanzania, also called the star sapphire. And this one's widely found in the Malawi community. It's got its most unusual feature is obviously this like coloration, discoloration that occurs. Yeah, they're really cool. I got this one when he was very small, and he wasn't even blue. So I watched him turn blue first, and slowly but surely, like this chipping has just increased over time. That's really the most interesting part of this fish, in my opinion, is the distinctive look that they get. And the process is very slow and frustratingly slow. I've had this guy over 2 years. I got him small, but he's still like not as chipped as I wish he was. And he's probably 7 inches, so he had a really good growth rate, but the chipping, it definitely takes a while. I would for sure consider him like a must-have, especially if you're doing a big predator hap tank. It's just like one of the most distinctive fish you can get. And all the time, people that come over here that have never seen haps before, like he really stands out. He always gets a lot of notice, but they're all obviously amazing. So it's hard to make a mistake with so many great fish to choose from. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing these amazing Phenochilus. I've enjoyed learning a little bit about it myself. So thanks very much. Until next time, happy fish keeping.